That's right, Deirdre. It's Brian Moynihan. He's here with me inside the Congress Center in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Brian, great to have an opportunity to speak with you yet again. One of the things you're getting up to here in Davos is taking a leadership role in the effort to close ranks, to get banks to put a more united front up in a conversation with governments and regulators around the world. How would you describe your progress thus far?
I think closing ranks would be the wrong way to characterize it. What we're trying to do is get engaged in a dialogue. Our industry needs to help shape the dialogue and help lead us out. We have to acknowledge the things that didn't go so well through the last 3 or 4 years, and then help really frame the dialogue so we can really have the couple different roles we play, helping to drive the economy, helping to make sure that we do it in a fair, transparent way for consumers and other clients, and then last, make sure we do it in a way that what happened before doesn't happen again. So it's about sharing a dialogue. Framing
the dialogue, sharing a dialogue, is that to say that this is something that should have been done a little while ago?
Well, I don't want to go back and say what should we have done 6 months ago, but I think it's important now as the economy is healing to actually have everybody participate to end up with the best answer on a lot of the regulatory reforms and that are going on and discussed in our industry.
Ultimately, what's the objective here?
The objective for me is to have a dialogue. Really, it's a great chance to see some of our international competitors are facing some of the issues, and also work with clients over here and help build a consensus in our industry, or at least get a range of consensus that we can help participate.
What's your sense thus far of what concerns your fellow financial institutions have over what we've heard from regulators, more importantly governments, over the past 2 weeks about bank regulation?
Well, I think that what we want to make sure is, one thing is we can serve our clients. Our clients want us to offer the combination of services that are what people traditionally think is commercial banking and investment banking together. That's what our clients tell us. The question is that we have moves by the various governments to make sure that the capital levels on the riskier are higher, that we risk manage better, and we agree with all that, and we're supportive of that. So as we think about how our industry has to work together, the commonality are we're all facing regulation. We all understand that we want to continue to provide these products and services, but we understand our activities have to be done in a risk management way that our regulators and our policymakers can actually absorb.
Does the fact that there is no coordination thus far between, say, the UK, the US, Germany, France on the subject of bank regulation create political uncertainty?
Well, it does. I think in all the sessions, there's a great move. The regulations don't have to be exactly the same, but they have to be enough the same that we can actually operate. It's a worldwide economy out there, especially in the capital markets in those areas, and that we need to be able to participate around the world. All our competitors do on a basis that we can actually know what the rules will be. And so I think there is a strong move by our industry, along with the regulators from around the world, to help say, hey, we can accept lots of changes, but if we make them so inconsistent, it's going to make it harder and actually probably hold back growth. So the part of the dialogue is about how do we make sure that the themes get more consistent.
To that point about holding back growth, Steve Schwartzman from the Blackstone Group told me yesterday that his main concern is that climate of political uncertainty, the lack of coordination, is going to scare banks, and the net result of that is that they're going to restrain credit, and it could stunt the economic recovery. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think we're in the business of making loans, and we're trying to make loans to every credit-worthy borrower we can, because that's what we do. Otherwise, I won't be successful, my company won't be successful, my teammates won't be successful. But the idea of the uncertainty does give you pause as to what the capital levels might be. So I think that the balance here has to be, how do we have a set of rules that work but actually help facilitate what we do as providing growth in the economy? I would say it's not affecting our view of going out and doing business, but it could affect others' views, and over time, if it doesn't settle in, I think it would affect our view.
Do you find the populist tone that the president took up last week a little unsettling?
I can understand the ire of the American people. I remember we're 1 in 2 households in America, so I get to hear from them a lot. We're the biggest consumer bank there is, and so I understand that concern, and it's around unemployment, it's around people's prospects not coming back as quick as they'd like. And so as we think about all the things we have to think about, we have to balance that. So what we've done on the consumer side is a lot of work to try to become more transparent, to help with the mortgage modifications, but we understand that clearly. The populist, that's a political question I want to get into. We understand what the consumers are feeling.
Very briefly, 30 seconds, Brian, what are your clients telling you here?
I think as I said to you earlier, Erik, I think it's sort of cautiously stabilized, which is a funny thing because they feel much better than they felt last year. They feel much better next year. But the issue is it's only stability. It's not. They don't feel really optimistic about the growth. They're worried about the growth. Not that they aren't optimistic. They're worried about whether it can really happen.
Brian, great to see you here at Davos at the World Economic Forum. That's Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, here at the World Economic Forum, in Davos, Switzerland. So much more to come from Bloomberg's coverage in Davos.